Welcome to Homemaking with Joy. I'm Rachel, and today I'm sharing my latest AZURE Standard haul. If you're not familiar with AZURE Standard, it functions like a co-op. You go online and order your groceries, and then at a drop zone near you, you go and meet the semi-truck to pick up your groceries. I like it because it keeps me out of the grocery store. My kids like it because they get to be up and close to a semi-truck. I have 3 little boys, so they think that's very cool. I also like to support this company, and ordering from AZURE allows me to get bulk prices on organic goods. All good things. So I'm going to show you what I ordered this time around. These are some of the things I've ordered previously, some new things, and so I'll explain all of those as I go through them. I'm going to start on my left and just work my way over. First things first, I have some pasta. This is organic bulk macaroni. If you've been around, you know I have a pasta maker, but it doesn't have a macaroni attachment on it, so I can't make that shape of noodle. I'm working on finding one of those so I can. But there are also recipes that I have that require dry noodles. So one of my Instant Pot recipes, my Instant Pot hamburger helper, you have to have dry noodles to put in the Instant Pot so the cook time is correct. And so I don't mind keeping some elbow macaroni on hand, and we always use them. They're always great. This is organic, and I feel better about purchasing organic when I can buy it in bulk because that makes the unit price better. If I were to buy some of these items in the smaller grocery store quantities for the organic price, that would break my budget. But this helps me a little bit keep things in perspective. Next, we have some beef broth. I usually can my own beef broth, but I'm currently out of beef bones, and so I bought a couple of these to have in my pantry. Next, we have peanut butter. So I got 3 small jars this time. In the past, I have purchased the large, I think it's 9 pounds of peanut butter. I like that it's organic, natural peanut butter. The only ingredients, I think, are peanuts and salt, which is really all you need. The problem is that it does separate. So when I buy the gigantic container of it, the solids go to the bottom, the oil goes to the top, which again is normal, but trying to mix it together in a 9-pound quantity, it's kind of ridiculous. So I got 3 small jars this time, and I was reminded by someone on Instagram that it's really easy to make your own peanut butter. I don't know why I seem to have forgotten that, but after I go through these jars, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to switch to making my own peanut butter, and then I'll just refill these little jars to keep in the fridge. So I think that's my plan, but I will appreciate not having to do that step this time around. Next, we have these little bars. These are shampoo bars. These are my favorite shampoo. I like that there's no plastic waste involved. That's actually how I originally found them. But now I like that there are natural ingredients and they're just clean and easy and they work really well. So I like using those. I have frozen raspberries. I have a friend who makes some delicious raspberry jam and she shares it with me sometimes. I want to make my own, so I have lots of it in my basement. I've never made raspberry jam. I make strawberry jam. Never done raspberry. I did this last year with the strawberry jam. I just purchased frozen strawberries from AZURE because I didn't go picking and I didn't have enough in my garden to can. So it was super simple because they're already ready to go. You just measure them and dump them in the pot and continue with your process. It's a really nice shortcut if you haven't done that already. Or if the process of canning the fruit into jam overwhelms you, this removes a step, which is kind of nice. It saves a lot of time. This big bag under here, this one, I'm not going to pick it up because it's 50 pounds of hard white wheat. For those of you who see me use my mill all the time, a common question I get is, where do you get your wheat berries? And I like to get them from AZURE Standard because I can get this big 50-pound bag and this will last us quite a while. If you've seen my pantry tour video, you know I have large food grade buckets in my basement that this will go into. I like to have probably a couple 100 pounds of wheat berries on hand at all times. If you store them correctly, wheat berries do not go bad, and when you freshly mill them and eat them correctly, they are good for you. So they are a staple food that I keep in my house in case the world would end and I needed to feed my people from just the basement. I would have plenty of wheat berries to feed us. Plus, hard white wheat is my favorite variety to work with. I mostly use hard white wheat, a little bit of soft white wheat, and even less hard red wheat. That is a tongue twister. So, wheat berries. The last thing, this big bag up here, again, I'm definitely not moving that one. That is 55 pounds of organic cane sugar. Yes, 55 pounds. So I did a little math this last time. Usually I get 25-pound bags of sugar and a lot of other things, but sugar right now. And I wrote on my food grade bucket when I refilled the bucket so I could see how long 25 pounds of sugar would last for our family. We are a 5-person family. We have a 1-year-old, so he's not eating the sugar. But otherwise, that's what we're working with. And we went through that bucket, that 25 pounds of sugar, in 6 months. So that tells me we use approximately 50 pounds of sugar for our family per year. So when I saw this 55-pound bag, I jumped on it. I thought that's perfect. I wanted to keep track of this because I was listening to a Wise Traditions podcast one time, and they were talking about sugar consumption. And so I want to read a quote for you. I'll put it on the screen for you as well because it kind of blew my mind. In the 1700s, the average consumption of sugar was only 4 pounds per person per year. In the 1800s, consumption was 18 pounds per person per year. In the 1900s, consumption was 90 pounds per year. Nowadays, consumption is around 180 pounds per person per year. That's about half a pound of sugar per day. Can you believe that? Now, today's numbers are mostly high fructose corn syrup. I will link that down below so you can read more if you want to, or listen. But I just couldn't believe that. A lot of people it's drinking like sodas and stuff. For those people who have soda every day, that's a lot of high fructose corn syrup or sugar products. So I was very happy when I did the math and figured my family, the four of us who are eating, only consume 50 pounds of sugar per year for our whole family. I'm very happy with that. And if you've been around here, you know I like to bake and I like to use my ingredients, but it's reasonable. So I thought that was really interesting. And so a 55-pound bag of sugar should last us a year. I can check back with you next February and find out if that's true. So this is what I ordered from AZURE Standard this month. Again, I like supporting this company. I like the model. The only downside is you don't know ahead of time when your drop pickup time is going to be. So you'll get an email when the truck leaves from the facility in Oregon, I think, and say, okay, the truck's on the way. You're scheduled to be Thursday at 2 p.m. or Friday at 8 a.m. or Monday at 11:30 a.m. So that's the tricky part. Ideally, if you have some friends that go to your same drop zone, you can help each other out and pick up each other's orders. I highly recommend that if you can swing it. So this is what I got. I have purchased most of these items before. I like all of them. I've been happy with everything I've purchased from AZURE Standard, and I know of a lot of other people who feel the same way. So if you want to give AZURE Standard a try, I recommend it. These are some things I've purchased, and I do have other videos on my channel of previous purchases from AZURE Standard if you want to get an idea of some other things that I get from them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.